On the 11th of March, 1780, a Concorde-class frigate of the French Navy slipped from its moorings at the port of Rochefort. The primary passenger on board for that fateful trip was a 23-year-old man named Gilbert Dumoutier, or as we know him today, General Lafayette. About 6 weeks later, on the 28th of April, Lafayette and the crew of the Hermione arrived in Boston, carrying the exciting news that he was the vanguard of 5,500 French troops and 5 French frigates. Arriving to assist his very good friend, General George Washington, and the colonial army in their fight to be recognized as a new and independent nation. This weekend, we mark the 239th anniversary of the independence of the United States of America. Throughout the United States, and here in Paris as well, Americans will gather together and celebrate. Parades, barbecues, fireworks will take place as friends and neighbors give thanks to the men of 1776 and the ideal that all people are created equal and that everyone has the fundamental right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if it weren't for the man buried here under the soil that was brought from Boston's Bunker Hill by his son, who he named George Washington, the Revolution of 1776 would have died a quick, sad death. And then, after saving the Americans from certain defeat, Lafayette returned to his beloved France, where in 1789, and inspired by his dear friend Thomas Jefferson, he presented a draft of the Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Rights of the Citizen to the National Assembly. He is clearly the hero of two worlds, and it is right and proper that we gather here to honor his memory. This year has been filled with events honoring the memory of Lafayette. It was my great pleasure to visit the replica of the Hermione earlier this year before it set sail. And I was deeply pleased also to travel home to the United States in early June to attend the events honoring the ship and Lafayette's accomplishment just at Mount Vernon on June 9th. The dedication and passion of the team that spent years building the Hermione is one more example of how the enduring spirit of Lafayette is and how deep the ties still are between our two countries. It was when America's fate was in the balance that the deep and lasting bonds of history and affinity between us were first forged. We have not forgotten that at Yorktown, the final and victorious battle of our War of Independence, there were more French than American soldiers fighting on that field that day. Those bonds have continued, strong, deep, and true, from that day until this day. Thank you so much for coming to honor this great man who is so important to both our countries. Vive la France, long live the friendship between our two countries, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.